We have Raul Montemayor, National Manager of the Federation of Free Farmers Cooperatives. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Welcome back.
Yes, good morning, Gretchen, and good morning din sa lahat ng nakikinig.
Okay, una-una ho, ano po ang naging epekto nitong lower tariff policy po ng gobyerno po natin sa ating mga farmers? Nakita nga po natin, you are requesting to somehow raise that tariff back up from 15 to 35%. Help us understand.
In fact, it started at 50. They brought it down to 35. And then in July last year, they brought it down to 15. No? The intention was good because at that time, the import prices were shooting up. And in the process, nagmahal masyado yung bigas. Umabot pa ng almost 60 pesos per kilo in some cases. So they put the tariff to 15%. But after they did that, international prices started to go down very fast. No? So ang nangyari, between July 2024 and now, nagkaroon ng over-importation at the low tariff of 15% and very, very cheap imports. No? And that brought palay prices down at the time that farmers were harvesting up to now.
Okay, so magkano na po ba ang ngayon? Ang bigas po ngayon?
According to the PSA, yung well-milled rice is around 50 pesos per kilo. Well-milled. At the peak of the price spike, it was about 56. Kaya sinasabi namin, bumaba naman siya ng 6 pesos. No? But when we reviewed the import prices, at the peak, it was coming in at about 45 pesos per kilo, imported, bayad na yung taripa. Now it's down to about 26 pesos per kilo. No? So, a 19 peso reduction in import prices. Putting pressure down on palay prices. No? Pero ang sinasabi namin, doon sa 19 pesos na natipid ng mga importer, bakit 6 pesos lang ang binaba sa retail? No? So we're telling them, it's the traders in between who are benefiting from that tariff reduction. Kukunti lang napupunta sa consumer. And then ngayon, nadadamay pa yung mga farmer in terms of palay prices. No? That's why we have been pushing the government to, at the very least, bring it back to 35% because apparently the import ban is not working in terms of propping up palay prices.
Oo. Ano po kaya yung nag-cost nitong 19 peso reduction in world prices?
Kasi nung late 2023 and 2024, I remember nagkaroon ng El Nino nan eh. No? So there was a lot of speculation na magkakahirapan sa supply internationally. And there was a time that even India banned its exports of rice. India is the biggest exporter of rice in the world. No? So nagkaroon ng speculation sa world market. There was a time when the import prices went up as high as $700 per ton. Ngayon, ang import prices from Vietnam, 350 na lang, 340. Almost half of what it was when there was a price spike. So, bumaba yung presyo ng international, then binabaan pa yung taripa. So talagang bumagsak yung import price. And that is putting pressures on palay prices. No?
Oo. So and locally, what are the farm gate prices of palay? Kamusta naman po yung yung margins of our farmers?
Well, again, I always use official statistics para hindi mag-away sa numero, no? So, PSA in its latest publication said that the average palay price in September, when the import ban was supposed to have been in place already, bumagsak pa siya ng 15 pesos and 60 pesos, 15 pesos and 60 centavos per kilo. Now, the PSA also says that the average production cost is about 14 pesos and 50 centavos per kilo. So, piso na lang yung natitirang margin ng mga farmers per kilo. They harvest about 4,300 kilos per hectare. So ang kinikita ng farmer at current prices, kung kumikita sila, is only about 4,300 pesos per hectare. And they have to live with that until after about 3 or 4 months when they start
Wow.
harvesting it. Ayan yun sa mga kumikita ng konti, pero marami yung lugi na talaga kasi the cost of production is even higher than 1450.
Oo, okay. So given the increased supply of rice, dapat ibalik ito sa, tama po ba, 35% po ba ang nire-request po ninyo?
Kasi ang basa namin when they imposed the import ban, they said this will help prop up prices. Pero hindi nangyari. Bakit? I think traders are thinking na although there are no imports coming in now, when the import ban is lifted, then the imports will start to flood the market again at 15% tariff. They have to contend with that a few months from now. So to play safe, they buy from farmers now at low prices, anticipating that they will have to compete with the cheap imports again after the import ban. Kaya sabi namin, if you increase the tariffs now, there is no effect on prices because may import ban eh. Wala naman mag-i-import pa eh, no? But it will signal the traders that they can now start buying higher from farmers because when the import ban is lifted later on, the imports will be a little bit more expensive. No? Yun po yung logic ng proposal namin. And we understand that DA agrees with that. They have already filed a petition with the Tariff Commission. But what we cannot understand is what is taking them so long. No?
Okay.
Why do they have to prolong yung agony ng mga farmers? Kasi this issue has been there for 4 months already.
I guess another question here is, no, syempre pinangako nga ho ng Pangulo yung murang bigas. I think the lowest would be around 25 pesos. Nasa na po na tayo sa gano'n, no? Kasi nabanggit nila po yung well-milled rice, pero yung regular, is it anywhere lower than the 25 pesos? Kasi subsidized po yun, tama po ba? What's the lowest price now that you can find in the market?
Well, we can see rice at 35, 40, 45. No? So, iba-ibang klase yan. No? The 20 peso rice that's being sold by the government is a subsidized rice. No?
Correct.
Siguro for the very poor, okay lang yun eh. No? Kasi talagang hirap sila. But we must remember, if they sell at 20, they bought the palay from farmers at 23 pesos per kilo. Palay pa lang yun, no? Hindi pa mill. They sell it at 20. They lose at the very least 20 pesos per kilo. Malaki yung lugi ng gobyerno dyan. No? So, although they publicize it as being sold in many places, actually the volume is very small. No? And the government is losing a lot of money. No? And I don't think that can be sustained for a long time. No? And the problem is if they do that too much, if they sell too much very cheap subsidized rice, that could also have an effect on palay prices. No?
If the government lifts it back to 35% tariff rate, do we have enough supply locally to last until the end of the fourth quarter?
Oh yes. That's why the import ban is not necessary or it doesn't have an effect because during this ongoing harvest, we harvest about, I would estimate about 6 million tons of rice equivalent. We have more than enough rice even without imports because it's harvest time. No? Ang problema natin siguro next year. No? But next year they will lift the import ban so imports will come in again. So medyo matapang sila magsabi na we will extend it up to December because they know we have enough supply naman. Hindi tayo maubusan. No? Pero ang sinasabi namin, by itself, the import ban does not prop up palay prices. Kasi nga, kinatatakutan ng mga trader, what happens when the import ban is lifted?
Okay. I guess we hope this call reaches the Department of Agriculture and our officials who are in charge of that. In the meantime, maraming salamat for explaining to us the scenario now of our rice farmers. We hope this gets solved in the soonest possible time. Maraming salamat, Raul Montemayor, National Manager of the Federation of Free Farmers Cooperatives.
You'll get them.